Okay.
Yes.
I typically don't have a problem people hearing my voice, but I'll throw this down real quick. Actually, let's maximize that. So it looks more appealing. Okay, so environment and task force, and actually I think you're going to find that there's a lot of parallels to other conversations that you've already heard about. As I'm going through the list of everything that we talked about, the environment, the parks, the trails, the pathways, we came up with a lot of common ideas and thoughts along that same way. Our committee was right here. Did you fall in?
Prezi.
Sorry. So our committee was right here. We identified a group of core concepts and topics. Our mission was fairly clean and clear, ensure quality environments, outdoor recreation and opportunities, and to increase all-season family-friendly activities. These were core ideas that were identified by our community and by the survey. So one of the biggest items that we did identify was a common thread that there is no single clearinghouse or calendar of events or place to look, find, or research things to do in our community. There are many of them, and if you're not connected with every single one of them, Facebook, Twitter, websites across the community here, WSU included. Even WSU, I understand, does not have a unified and common calendar of events. So that was one of those ideas that I think is low-hanging fruit. We could probably do that fairly easy. The challenge was ensuring that it is free and vetted and supported by the city. In other words, some method to ensure that it continues on, that it is controlled in some way, shape, or form. So that was one of those big ideas. Another one was identifying all our paths and in our environment. We do have a lot of trails, we do have a lot of paths, ensuring that those paths are in the future connected, interconnected, and provide pathways. And so following on with bike trails, with running trails, with walking trails across our city and our community, tying those into also visual signage that helps our community identify where they're going, what they're going to do, how they're going to get there, which ones are bike safe, which ones are pedestrian safe, and so forth. That's actually from England, along the Thames.
Thames?
So you see, yeah.
Did you say the Thames?
Thames. The Thames. It's different from the Thames. All right. One of the easier items that was found was a survey or review of our playgrounds around the city. And I'm glad Pete and/or Alan Davis aren't here. I know they do an excellent job. It's challenging. It's a resource, but this is something that I think the community could take on as well, and not just on the city or on the Parks and Rec, but improvements of our playgrounds would engage more families to come out and enjoy our parks. We have a lot of those resources out here. Another one that was brought up was to encourage economic bike-friendly or alternate transportation was places where people can put their equipment in a safe method. Now, these are extreme examples. The bike garage, that's not so bad. I think that's very doable. The big, huge bike garage may be oversized for us, but we can come up with some similar ideas to encourage students to come down from campus into our city, have a place to park their bikes, keeps it dry, wet, safe, while they're enjoying downtown. Another one that was very, very large, this is a long-term project, and that is one of a youth center. We've had many conversations amongst our committee on the lack of a community center or a youth center for the size of the city that we are. And I think it's time. We've talked about it a lot. This is one of those items that I think would resonate well with our society and our community. And then a very, very long goal was a concept of improving our ecology, kind of echoing the Paris Climate Accord, and what other cities are doing to say, well, we can do our part. Now, we don't know what that part will be. We don't know how much that will be. One of our committee members talked about green powered bikes to get around town instead of commuting with a car. So the thought is, well, how do we measure that? And that echoes back to Jim's conversation about measurable goals, measurable events, and how do we get to that process of identifying if we're doing something better or not. And so that was our final goal for that. And I'm going to catch up with our clock. He's going to be happy about that. And I'll take questions if you have any.